Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's all about the resolution of the Southern Governors Forum. It's a 12 points, resolution. They come up with it saying if, not if right now, it's a resolution, that's what they want to do. But some persons are not really happy with what they talked about, talking about the ban on open grazing, giving the governors more powers, and some other things that they talk about. And in the course of this discussion, we will definitely dabble into it. With me here in the studio, I have two legal practitioners. I'd like to start my introduction by introducing the legal practitioner on my far left, Barrister Anakwe Mbanefo. A legal practitioner, political analyst, Esquire. I should add Esquire to his name. I wonder why that is. Barrister, welcome to TMI on this edition.
Thank you very much.
All right. And I have Barrister Patrick Isiekwen, a distinguished legal practitioner, notary public figure, Edo State Chairman, Nigeria Society of International Law, and a human rights activist. Welcome, Barrister Patrick. I appreciate your coming.
Yeah, good morning.
All right.
The viewers there, happy viewing.
All right. And of course, Anakwe Mbanefo also is a human rights activist. I wouldn't want to miss that. Let us start off with the 12-point agenda by the South. By the South governors.
Yeah.
And it's like tongues are beginning to wag in Nigeria because of this resolution reached by the governors. And Wike is like saying there is no going back. It's what they resolved to do. That is what they are going to do, especially when it has to do with ban on open grazing. Barrister Anakwe Mbanefo, what do you feel about this?
We on this side of the divide are, it's very comfortable with the resolutions of the southern governments. And we are very optimistic. All things being equal, that those points that are marshaled out will be followed. However, one thing is for the governors to have come up with proposals. And that thing again is how do you enforce it? The truth of the matter is this: that the Nigerian story, of course, the southern governors didn't just come up with that meeting. Something led to that meeting. The state of the nation, as it were, was what led to that meeting. Of course, you are aware that for quite some time, the economy has been going down the drain due to insecurity and other challenges in this country. And the essence of governance is to protect life and properties, and also to ensure the goods of the people in terms of a robust economy and in terms of infrastructural development. For some time now, we have not been seeing this. And the story of Nigeria appears to have fallen on the title of the book written by my own elder brother, Chuna Achebe. And Achebe, in his book titled Things Fall Apart, talked about when things have fell apart and the center can no longer hold. And in another book again he wrote, it was titled No Longer at Ease. Achebe, wrote that same book, No Longer at Ease. And if things has fallen apart, you discover that it is no longer at ease. And in his third book, or of course the last before he died, Chuna Achebe wrote another book again titled There Was a Country. And then we were now wondering, if there was a country, what is the problem with that country?
All right. I will come back to you on that.
Just to cap it up,
Please do.
So all this was, of course, what led the Southern governors to hold that meeting and come up with those resolutions.
Okay.
And that if we must actually, say that we are one nation, then there must be equity, there must be justice, there must be fairness.
I'll come back to you,
because
Barrister.
any peace without justice,
Equity and fairness.
yes, equity, fairness, and justice.
Okay.
And we can't be talking about peace without justice.
Justice.
The justice of the case is what they are pursuing.
Okay.
And that
All
was
right.
what led to the Southern governors meeting in Asaba Delta State.
Okay, I will come back to you, Barrister
yes, thank you
Nakwe.
very
In course of this, you're going to expatiate more on the points you've raised. Talked about 3 books written by a man, Chinua Achebe. He's late now, but the books he wrote lives on. Things fall apart, no longer at ease, and of course once a country. In the resolution, the governors were so specific about the unity of the country. They all agreed that the unity of the country is non-negotiable. For it to continue, these resolutions must be met. Barrister Patrick, what do you feel about this meeting and of course the 12-point resolution?
Well, the meeting is a welcome one, and for me, I thought the 12-point agenda.
Yeah.
I think I don't really subscribe to all.
You don't subscribe to all of them?
Yes, all of them. I will just look at it, at least 80%. But I've done at least 80% of what they agreed. I'm in support. Yes, because here we know that the issue of governance is a serious business, and the primary duty of the aim of a governor, if any government, by virtue of Section 14 of our Constitution, which is a ground norm, is the welfare and the security of the people. And that's what they tend to tackle right away. So what I'm trying to say is that, well, I subscribe to the issue of the graze banding. Open grazing should be banned totally. Totally, because it has given a lot of problems, a lot of lives insecurity in the states through the activity of the herdsmen. And we know too well that you have the genuine herdsmen, really, but you have the herdsmen, you have they are always a terrorist group. Under international forum, when they classify those terrorist group. It's only locally here. We don't call them. They are terrorists. We call them all over the world a terrorist group. The S-men, but the local one, they are not. But they use people as a way in committing crime. A lot of others have been committed. Yes, in a civilized world, anywhere in part of the world, when you say S-men, cattle rearing, I think it's a business. It has to do with a private business. It's not a. Even if you want to, those who have poultry, piggery, they are restrained. They build a place for them. So if you want to go into, anybody can go into cattle business. It's a business. Then you should have a place, buy land, put your cattle there, remain there. They're moving all over the place. At the end of the day, you feed on people's plants, people's crops. Are they all there for what? So that ban on open grazing, I think that one will recognize the issue of S-men clash with the farmers, killings, maiming and raping. So I think it's a solution to that. It's not against the freedom of the constitution, because probably they feel that it's a breach of their fundamental right. Those S-men free to move from one place to another. They are free to move. What they're saying is that their business, cattle business, they should have a land to stay in a particular place. Anybody can apply for cattle rearing. Even foreigner can come to meet the governor and say, give me so much land, I want to go into a cattle rearing business. So it shouldn't be a thing of victimizing or, oh, we're against one section of the country or we're doing this. No. So the government should pursue it to the air to make sure that they don't give away in that the ban of open grazing. The government must accept it in good faith. That it should be banned.
All right. Now, some persons are not so keen about this ban in open grazing. Some prominent Nigerians are against it, talking about trampling or impeding this set of persons from exercising their fundamental human rights as citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Barrister Nakwe, what do you have to say about this?
It is not a matter of, in fact, we are right, stops. It's when another person's own right begins. You cannot use illegality to achieve legality. You cannot use illegality to achieve legality. So the whole thing is this, the the problem with open grazing is it really before now there was open grazing, but the style for which it is now being practiced is no longer conducive for the people over here. And again, what we are saying is this: the grazing of a thing. Do we really mean grazing? Do we really mean grazing? Or is there any undertone behind the grazing? Is any group trying to initiate an expansionist tendencies? Or is it purely what we normally know as grazing? So there is more to it. The governors knows that before now we have coexisted peacefully. But the problem we are talking about is this: is that the whole thing now is affecting the lives and properties of the people. There's a new dimension to this. Their worries is that women are being raped in their farms, crops have been destroyed, and at the end of the day, that they allege that the people are carrying arms. So, and they're no longer comfortable with this. Like my learned friend said, if you want to do a business, you must do a legitimate business that we don't inconvenience your neighbors. And there's nothing wrong in putting those cows in one place and ensuring that they are being taken care of in one particular place. What they're saying is that the cattle rearers can adopt a more modern part of rearing their cows, and not probably moving from one farm to another farm. And in the process, people's crops are being damaged, people lose their lives, and then it is affecting the economy of the southern part of Nigeria, and people can no longer have access to their farms, and the issue of food production is also being reduced to its barest minimum, because most of these crops have been destroyed by the cows, and most farmers have been losing their lives, and that seen that this thing is going to affect food production. At the end of the day, that could also be adding to poverty and the hardship for which people are already facing. And they don't want to allow it to go out of hand. That's why they're not saying we don't want open grazing. Or that is even one point out of the 12 points.
Yeah, of course, because that is going to be the focus on this segment. While the other analysts will talk about some other parts of the resolution, we just can't dabble into the 12 right now. We want to pick up some of the salient points given by the governors. There is school of thought that with this resolution by the South governors is going to pitch them against their northern counterpart. Barrister Patrick, do you share that opinion?
At all. It will not. I think they are all in government, and the governors know this. Their primary duty. They know this. It will not. Is it those who are parochial, who try to make it a religious issue? Most things happening, they attach religion, that attach politics. We wake up and they start manipulating things. No governor from the north, because they know too well that a lot of damages have been done through the movement of this cow to other. They listen to news. They hear what's happening in the south here. They be seeing things happening. They are aware. Even the president is aware. So it will not at all. It will not. Except they want to use as a point to bring religion. Actually, it's normal. But at the end of the day, the south governor and the northern governor, they will have a good relationship because it's based on truth. And the only way to solve such a problem is doing the right thing. When you have a problem, you are unable to solve it. You have a problem. It means you have a fundamental problem. And when you have a fundamental problem, you look at the issue holistically to know how you go about it. I think You just bring the diplomatic issue way of settling it. Most important thing is the honesty of purpose. With that, they don't give a damn about whoever, because it was done in good faith.
Was done in good faith. So both
yes.
of you are in support of one of the resolution that states that there should be a ban on open grazing.
Yes.
Now, one other resolution is that they recommended that in view of widespread agitation amongst various peoples for greater inclusiveness in existing governance arrangements, the federal government should convoke a national dialogue as a matter of urgency. Barrister Nakwen Banefo, they said this, one of the resolution. Do you think this time calls for a convocation of national dialogue? If yes, what about the one conducted by former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan?
Yes, I think this particular point is very germane, very germane, because we can't sit down and watch the country go down the drain. Our fathers, our grandfathers, and our great-grandfathers fought for independence, and we have enjoyed this independence to date, and governments has come and gone. And from what is happening right now, there are so many challenges. You know, the issue of insecurity is there, which is becoming one of the serious problems among all the other problems. You know, we have the issues of lopsided appointments by the current administration, and we also have issues of one part of the country saying that they are not properly represented, and level of development in their areas is also being lopsided. And then the people are talking about getting a fair share, of national cake. And don't forget that they have the right to all that. Again, the issue of derivation formula, wherein the 1999 Constitution as amended, was talking about 13% derivation from crude oil to the oil producing states, while the bulk of it go to the federal government. They are saying it's not acceptable to them. That constitution does not meet justice of the case.
Okay.
And so they are saying that, look, we have to convoke a national conference. Let us discuss our existence. Let us discuss what we are getting. Let us discuss every other issue as to see whether this marriage can continue.
Okay.
And if the marriage cannot continue, we make other proposals. And so that area, is very, very important, because like we started earlier, we talked about equity, we talked about justice, we talked about fairness.
Okay.
In this issue of political appointments, has government power been fair enough by ensuring that, look, federal character as enshrined through federalism.
That is another point they raised here.
In the Constitution. It's been met and all that.
All right.
So just
anchor, please.
Let me take it from there. You talked about the agitation by
various groups.
Various groups.
Yes.
It's been necessitated by this inequity, by this injustice, by this lopsided appointments, by the fact that they're not happy about the way things are going on.
All right.
By the current administration. So that's what is linked to those agitations.
Okay, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Now, a group of persons led by Sonny Boho, they are talking about secession. They are marching around Oshobo and the rest of them say they want to go their own part. We have IPOB also, they've been proscribed. That's still they're doing that. I was saying everybody needs to go to their own part. Do you think this convocation of national conference will solve all these problems?
Ordinarily speaking, yes, national dialogue would have solved this problem, because there are a lot of issues there. But for me to answer what I saw, you said their demand for a national dialogue at this point in time, I think it would think that by convening a kind of national conference by this point in time, I think it will solve our problem. I think we're just might be because of abysmal ignorance. See what the governor to have Scott said, I'm against that call for national. No, not it is to convene national conference. The monetary involvement, the time. 3 years they are still winding up this government. You are aware the last year you hear from this governor that one of the things they did to him to settle the allocation, they had to print some money to settle the issue. That is, the government is down. If you don't have the financial time, the resources, what they should be asking for is one of the organized under Goodluck Jonathan. We already have it. Well, they gave to the president, he said he should remain in the high caps. Which is too bad. They actually the whole matter. Go and look at all the issues holistically were all there. Because you have men from different parts of the country that were there. We spend billions on these documents. Each of everything embodied is there. What are we talking about? It's just whether it's security, whether everything. North, east, west, south, we watch it. They spend billions to cover the conference. And they speak on that conference. At this point in time, we don't have the money. The country is already broke. Which is what is the former one they've done. What have they done with it? So they should hold the president to work on that. But that document was under a legitimate government. It's not an illegal government. You should bring that document now. That's what they should be. Not saying convene no. It's already there. We already have it.
All right.
If I have a television, a good house, I need to buy that television again. I'm even broke. No, okay. What are you talking about? He's there. They should be honest with the governors. I would hold the president liable to work on that. One hundred on that Jonathan.
Barrister, you heard him. He said we already have it. Calling for it now is the timing is wrong.
I want to depart seriously from his position. Yeah. Because under Goodluck administration, from that period till now, a lot of things have happened. Under that administration, we didn't explain the issue of herdsmen, rampaging herdsmen. Under that administration, we didn't we know anything. Then, as at that time, we had Boko Haram. Then under that administration, the level of insecurity now has worsened. So, under Goodluck government, we never talked about the issue, the open grazing stuff has not been very chaotic.
Insecurity was addressed in that confab, right?
The confab, as at that time,
yes.
As at that time, the situation of this country have not worsened up to the way it is right now. So several issues has arisen since that time. And so if you're telling us that we should fall back to that, that means we're not going to look forward to that holistically. There's still need for dialogue so that these issues can be discussed. Another administration, the issue of derivation, if it was discussed, I don't know to which extent.
But we talk about the right hand got millions, and now we're saying that we are broke.
Another administration,
yes.
The issue of derivation probably wasn't properly discussed. There's nothing wrong in discussing.
No, derivation was
there's nothing wrong.
They discuss it.
There's nothing wrong in having another national dialogue.
Okay.
When this is a country, this is a country where a lot of people are aggrieved, where a lot of people are agitating for so many things, and there's nothing wrong in sitting down to ask the people, what do you want? And then let us do a new path. If we want to still remain as one country, we should be able to discuss, we should be able to dialogue, we should be able to look at those gray areas, and then do something about it and come up with something that everybody will be happy with, and not a situation whereby somebody will be feeling that because I came from one part of the country, justice is not done to me, and because the other man came from the other side of the country, he is having the whole thing on a platter of gold. Okay. That's what we're talking about. So there's no way it can move forward. If we want people to be patriotic, if we want citizens to be patriotic, patriotism is anchored on justice, equity, and fairness. Right. It's anchored on who gets what, when, and how.
Okay. Okay. I'll come back to you, Mbanefo. Yeah, you want to say something?
He just said, yeah, but what my colleague had just said. Yeah. I think, you see, like a constitution of a country, any constitution of a club, you see, you don't just throw away the constitution. What you do, you are meant to face the reality of time. Once you need the feeling to be changed. So what you're saying now is that, what I'm trying to say is that when you say reality of time, that's why they're only telling you that they need structuring. You structure according to the way you have it's federation you are operating. According to what the state needs. If you call a Lagos man now, a Lagos state governor, what do you need? Call a Kano state governor, what do you need? Call the Eastern governor, what do you need? That differs. It can't be one, that demand will be different. So you structure, that's only calling for the structuring. In terms, in reality, what you want. You cannot now say, you need a constitution, national, national. No, those are minor issues that you amend.
Are they really minor?
No, you structure it to your problem. To your problem, that's what I'm saying, that to what you want. Not say national conference at this point in time. This government will just end up winding up 3 years. There are a lot of issues confronting the federal government, which they can't find their feet up to date. COVID-19 is there. Are you not aware? So many have not been still be put in place. So where's the money? So what I'm trying to say is that if you don't have money for, if you don't have enough, you manage what you have to solve your problem. It's not possible, because if you take 2, 3, 4, 3 years, the government will end. It is the song is just like conference, nothing will be done again. When the economy is already done, are already suffering. You want to have give more pay, more hardship to them. So that's why they also telling you they need restructuring. So I'm not sure we'll take care of that. That's my own.
How about you? You talked about the money aspect of it, and that's going to be your last line of the discussion. We'll be here for almost 30 minutes right now, watching the time. We want us to come talk about this money for some of these things to be to materialize.
Yes,
and now, according to report, the country is broke.
With all due respect to my learned friend,
Yes.
you know, the points he's making, you know, is very, very trivial compared to the kind of sufferings Nigerian citizens are going through. Nigerian citizens, in quotes, are going through, because there's no part of this country that is happy with the way things are going. Not even the north, not even the south. We are all looking, what these people are saying, the government are saying, is the path to a good life in this country. In the 60s, Martin Luther King Jr., in one of his speeches, did say, I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will be judged by the contents of their character.
And not by the color of their skin.
And not by the color of their skin.
All right.
In this country, we should be talking about our young children, that we should be talking about having a dream of having our children in a country where they will not be judged by the religion, or by the part of the country they come from, or by the kind of home they come from.
Okay.
We should be talking about having children in a country where there will be equal rights, where there will be people's fundamental rights must be well respected.
Okay.
Where there will be equitability of distribution. Of whatever we are getting from this country.
Thank you.
Where the natural resources can be evenly distributed, where development of the nation can be evenly, distributed. Okay. Where some group of people will not see themselves as sacred cows.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And where people where you can travel to Jos, travel to Kaduna, Lagos without being kidnapped along the streets.
All right, thank you,
and not the issue of money my friend is talking about. Which money are you talking about?
Thank you,
Would you be alive to
spend money?
To spend the money.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much. Other analysts to come and really throw more light into this. Your last line, Barrister Patrick. You talked to he mentioned that money is not an issue. Security of lives and property, equity, justice, and fairness should be our watchword. Briefly.
You cannot divorce the issue of money from this issue. I have made it clear.
Yeah.
The issue of money, what I'm telling you that I don't have alternative. I've already told you they say confirmed under Goodluck Jonathan.
Okay.
Which was held by legitimate government, billions was spent.
Okay.
So convening on that conference now is that you want to reach some men. They will reach themselves in this confirm. And what the government will end, it will be conclusive. Nothing will be done. Because now the government is as if the government is even stale.
Okay,
what is happening?
That is if you talk about the confirm.
Yes, not to be done. Yes, it's true. The government will
we are talking. We want restructuring. We want restructuring. We want the country to be restructured.
That's why I said
about the
restructuring will take care of that.
At the time Goodluck was here, the
restructuring will take care of that.
We have there wasn't there.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's get to
restructure themselves.
From other analysts, let's see if they share the same thoughts.
Which money are we talking about?
With these legal
country
practitioners.
to be restructured.
We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.